Sclerenchyma tissue. The another type of permanent tissue is sclerenchyma. It is the third type of simple permanent tissue. In sclerenchyma, the cell walls are lignified and pitted. It is a dead, thick-walled, simple permanent tissue. Sclerenchyma cells are derived from a Greek word scleros, means hard. Sclerenchyma tissues have cells with thick, tough secondary wall, normally impregnated with lignin. Lignin makes them flexible as well as strong. Most are dead at maturity. They vary in shape but are often cubical, provide rigid structure and protection. Sclerenchyma tissues make the plant hard and stiff. We have seen the husk of a coconut. It is made of sclerenchymatous tissue. The cells of this tissue are dead. They are long and narrow as the walls are thickened due to lignin. Lignin is a cement-like substance, chemical substance present in the walls of sclerenchymatous tissues. Lignins harden the walls of sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma tissues are responsible for stiffness in plants. These tissues are long, narrow, and dead cells. The thickened cell walls made of cellulose impregnated with lignin. Simple pits are present in thickened cell walls. No intercellular spaces are present in sclerenchyma tissues. Sclerenchyma cells are strong, thick cells that provide most of the support in a plant. They are known to have extremely thick cell walls and do not participate in many of the other activities of the developing plant, such as photosynthesis, because their focus is strictly on support and structure. The protoplast usually dies during development so that the typical sclerenchyma cell is dead at maturity. The lignified walls give sclerenchyma cells their rigidity and they function primarily in mechanical support and water conduction. Sclerenchyma tissues are made up of sclerenchyma cells. These cells are usually dead. Primary walls and secondary walls are thickened with lignin. Children, I have told you lignin is a cement-like chemical substance present in the cell walls of sclerenchyma tissues. This lignin hardens the cell wall of sclerenchyma. Now, sclerenchyma tissues are of two types, fibers and scleroid. The function of sclerenchyma tissue is to provide support. Sclerenchyma tissues have dead cells with no protoplasm. The walls of cells greatly thickened and lignified. Due to excessive thickening of the walls of sclerenchyma cells, its cell cavity or lumen becomes nearly absent. The cells of sclerenchyma are closely packed. No intercellular spaces are present. These tissues are found in stems, roots, veins of leaves, hard covering of seeds, and nuts. So, two types of cells are present in sclerenchyma tissues, fibers and scleroids. Fibers are cylinders around stems. Think of as long elastic cables. Scleroids forms sheets. Numerous types of shapes can make cell walls have gritty structure. Children, the example of fiber is husk of coconut. The outer husk of coconut, hair-like structure, that are fibers, and scleroids we can find in grit of pear. The two types of sclerenchyma are fiber and scleroids. Fibers are long, slender cells as strands or bundles vary in length. Scleroids are variable in shapes and often branched, relatively short cells compared to the most fibers, found singly or aggregated throughout the ground tissues. Seed coats of many seeds, shells of nuts, the stone fruits, olives, peaches, cherries, and gritty texture of pears. Sclerenchyma in plants support tissue composed of any of various kinds of hard woody cells. Mature sclerenchyma cells are usually dead cells that have heavily thickened secondary walls containing lignin. Sclerenchyma cells occur in many different shapes and sizes, but two main types occur: fibers and sclerites. So, Sclerenchyma fibers and Sclerenchyma sclerites. These are the two types of Sclerenchyma tissues, or these are the two types of cells found in Sclerenchyma tissues. Sclerenchyma fibers are very much elongated, whereas sclerites are short, isodiametric or irregular in shape. Both the forms may remain intermixed in the same strand to carry on the same function. Intermediate types of cells are also not uncommon. So we can see the structure of sclerites and fibers. Two types of Sclerenchyma tissues, sclerites and fibers. So we can see the transverse section and longitudinal section of Sclerenchyma here. Here is the structure of fiber and sclerite. Two types of cells are present in Sclerenchyma tissues, fiber and sclerite. Fiber is elongated and long structure, and sclerites are round in shape. Sclerites are shorter, very much in shape, may be spherical, polyhedral, elongated or branched with numerous pits. Found in almost everywhere in plant body, especially in cortex, phloem of stems and roots, in fruit wall and seed coat. Act as main cell type for mechanical support. Fibers. The fibers consist of very narrow, thick and lignified cells. The fibers are usually pointed at both ends and are clustered into strands. Now children, we have studied fibers and sclerites in Sclerenchyma tissues. We have studied two types of Sclerenchyma tissues, sclerites and fibers. So wherever the word Sclerenchyma is used, it means the function is to provide rigidity. So the Sclerenchyma tissues are placed in two groups, the fibers and sclerites. The cells of the fibers are elongate, whereas the cells of sclerites are short, isodiametric or irregular in shape, generally unbranched, originate from meristematic cells. So children, we have studied all the three types of simple permanent tissues: parenchyma, collenchyma and sclerenchyma.